Right, let's look at what's happening in the world of sport now, as Orlando Pirates and Marumo Gallants will square up for the Carling Cup final at the Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane this afternoon. Pirates will look to add to the MTN 8 honours, while Gallants will look to upset the Buccaneers and clinch the trophy for the first time ever. Newzroom Afrika's sports reporter Yolulwe Qoshe joins us from the Peter Mokaba Stadium. Yolulwe, how is the atmosphere there? Talk to us about the energy that you're feeling.
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Studio Hugo, as well as to the viewers at home, of course. Hugo, I was told that there is an event called the Heat Wave happening here in Polokwane, but no one told me that there's literally a heat wave here in Polokwane. To go with that is about 30 degrees here. That is the weather that is expected to greet the players. Probably going to be a little bit cooler by the time kickoff does happen at 6 o'clock, but the fans are not waiting for 6 o'clock to come into the vicinity of the stadium. Driving into the city itself, there are a lot of Orlando Pirates flags on the back of cars. There are lots of Orlando Pirates jerseys that are on display here. There are vuvuzelas and people streaming into the vicinity of the stadium as well, Hugo. But also there was a sprinkling of Marumo Gallants jerseys as well, because people need to remember that the origins of Marumo Gallants are from this province back in their season as TTM the first time, and then when they changed to Marumo Gallants the season after. So in the grandstands, I'm expecting a lot of black and white and the various colors associated with Orlando Pirates to obviously dominate. But there are, of course, those people that are remembering that the Marumo Gallants team has roots in this province, and they're also showing up for them. So the atmosphere is lively at the moment, and I'm expecting it to get even more lively and get more packed around this vicinity as we edge ever so closer to that 6 o'clock kickoff, Hugo.
Yolulwe, is it fair to say Orlando Pirates enter as favourites tonight?
I would say so, Hugo, based on the cup pedigree that they've had. They've won numerous cup competitions over the last couple of seasons. You mentioned that they won the MTN 8 just this season. They've done that for quite a few seasons, stretching back to back. So they are fancying themselves when it comes to, getting over the line in another cup competition. They've got players that have that cup pedigree, that know what it takes to get to a big day, how to, ease themselves from the pressure, how to manage themselves from the expectations that is expected on such a big day. And also international players that are playing for the likes of Bafana players that have gone through an AFCON qualification process and a World Cup qualification process. So pressure for them is not something new. They will relish the opportunity to put on the badge again and try to win another trophy for Orlando Pirates. So based on just the cup acumen, they will be hoping, that they've got what it takes. They've done this over and over again in their minds, and that, I think, should give them a bit of an edge coming into this particular game. But that is not a written rule, Hugo, that if you've got the experience of winning cups, you will go on to win. There has to be a first for everything. And also, the same Orlando Pirates that went to a cup final against Kaizer Chiefs in that Nedbank Cup last season, a lot of people were expecting their cup pedigree to take them over the line against a Kaizer Chiefs team that had not won in 10 years. And guess what? It was Kaizer Chiefs at the end of that day that came out victorious. So that should at least give a sprinkling of hope to Marumo Gallants coming into this fixture.
Yolulwe Qoshe, that's where we'll leave that conversation. We will be crossing back to you certainly in the next hour, and that's where we leave it for this afternoon. Orlando Pirates or Marumo Gallants? Who's your money on?
I knew you'd ask me that. Orlando Pirates. You insinuated that they're coming in as favourites, so...
I thought you were going to go for the underdog.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to go for the underdog. Hopefully,
okay.
Marumo Gallants do it. And that's where we leave it for this afternoon. I'm Hugo de Batika.
And I'm Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Thank you very much for joining Newsfeed PM.